Hi everyone, this is Corinne Zaragoza Estrella with Ayudantes Escolares Online, or online K-5 Tutors, and today I'm going to be talking about teaching elementary math. Our training objective today is to learn best practices for how to teach Common Core math for elementary students, particularly for our online tutoring program, which is done over the summer. A lot of you are probably like me, you grew up learning math this way, the old way, but Common Core has kind of changed the way students are learning math. And so we're going to learn a little bit more about how to teach that for students. Number one, we're going to understand the math standards. Now, you're not doing any lesson planning. I don't expect you're not teachers. I don't expect you to understand the standards in great detail, but they are helpful for you to understand what your student should be able to do in math in their particular grade level. So if we take a look at our standards, this is the kindergarten math standards right here. The subject or the topic, the math topic, is always going to be listed here at the top. So this topic is counting and cardinality. And there's a kind of a general description of what they should do. So no number names and the counting sequence. And if you want some more details about that, you can look here, which is no numbers, number names, and recognize patterns in the counting sequence by counting to 100 by ones or counting to 100 by tens. And so that kind of just gives you kind of some insight into what students should be able to do. If you can kind of look down, there's first grade here, and you can see at this grade, they're doing a little bit more with demonstrating fluency with addition and subtraction within 10, adding, subtracting within 20. So this kind of shows you obviously that like first graders are not doing multiplication and division. That's for our older students. And this is just to give you an idea for when you are going to do some research about how to do Common Core math. You're probably thinking 8 plus 4. I obviously know how to do that. I don't need to watch a video to know how to teach 8 plus 4. But the way that Common Core teaches and the way that students are learning it today is a lot more complicated than you might think. So we're going to watch a short video to kind of show how Common Core teaches how to do 8 plus 4.
Hi. In an effort to make things a little bit more clear about what we're doing in math, I thought I would make a video to put on Seesaw for you to understand the Make 10 strategy. The Make 10 strategy is a way for kids to do math quicker in their head, and while it seems a bit tedious right now, it is a great strategy for kids to have as problems get harder. So in our homework, we saw problems that looked like this. 8 plus 4 equals. Now, while this problem looks pretty simple right away, and most students are able to just know it, we want them to get the process of making 10 under control now. That way, when problems get harder, it becomes more of a habit for them to do problems like this. So in the Make 10 strategy, basically, we have students recognize that 8 is part of 10. So using the 10 frame to illustrate this process. Okay, so there we have 8 plus the 4. Eight plus 4. And now we want to make 10. So what we're going to do is we're going to decompose this number 4 into a number bond. And essentially we're asking ourselves, okay, what do we need to make this 8 into a 10? And I tell the kids this is where the magic happens. So the magic happens when we move 2 over to complete the 10 frame. We took the 2 from the 4 and made it into a complete 10 frame. The first part of the bond then is 2, where these 2 came over to make the complete 10 frame. Then I asked the kids, what do we have left over? Well, we have the 2 left over. In this situation, we see that 2 plus 2 would equal 4. This is called a fact family or number bond. Now I look at the kids and I say, okay, we used our 2 to make this into a complete 10 frame because 8 right here plus the 2 equals 10. There, we made 10. That's the purpose of the strategy, to make 10. Because now, brought those two down, now we can bring over what's remaining, the 2, to create a much easier problem, a much easier number sentence. This number sentence is much easier for kids to see and instantly recognize the answer. 10 plus 2 equals 12. And I always tell the kids this.
So as you can see, it's a little bit more complicated than just adding 8 plus 4. There's a lot more steps involved. And so it's important that you are able to understand how the students are learning math in the schools. So that way you can help them maintain that understanding and maintain those skills over the summer. Number 2, it's really important that you ask students to show their work, especially because Common Core is more complicated than just being able to count on your fingers. It's really important that students are able to show their work as part of their math practice. I really recommend that you have students write their work on paper and show the paper to you, rather than asking students to do the work on the screen, especially for younger students. Using the computer is going to impede their ability to do the math. It's also how they're going to be doing it in school, so it's great that they keep practicing that at home as well. Asking students to show their work will also minimize any hidden calculator use that they might be doing, or any counting on the fingers that they might be using to give you the number. So it's really important that you can actually see that they're able to do the math the way that it is being taught in Common Core. Number 3, ask students to explain their work. So Common Core, a new component of Common Core, asks students to explain the thought process behind their work to really demonstrate understanding. This can be especially difficult for students who are learning English, because it's not enough just to do the math. You have to be able to explain exactly what you did, describing the steps involved and explaining why you did that. So it's important that you help students, not every single problem, but every once in a while, asking students to kind of explain what they did and why they did that. And if necessary, you can help the students come up with the vocabulary and the word usage to explain that process, because it is very academic, and it can be difficult for English language learners to do. Number 4 is to keep it simple. Remember, 10-minute activity sessions are best for students to maintain their attention and their focus. It's better, again, quality over quantity, to do 2 math problems really well and to be able to explain the thought process behind that, rather than do 15 and not understand it as well. Even these short practice sessions are going to help prevent the summer brain drain that can be caused by not doing any math over the summer. Please use the online resources provided by Ayudantes Escolares Online to help practice. If you need any more resources, please reach out and we're happy to recommend others. And also very important is, don't teach any new material to students. When schools pivoted from in-person to online learning over the spring, teachers themselves stopped teaching new material. Everything that they did was all review material. And so we highly recommend that you just keep reviewing with the students things that they've already done. That way, not to stress them out, not to stress you out, trying to teach something that you're learning at the same time with them perhaps, and just keep it fun and easy, and just maintaining what they already know is more than enough. If you have questions, again, my name is Corinne Zaragoza Estrella. I'm the academic specialist at Ayudantes Escolares Online. Please feel free to email me or reach out with any questions you might have, and I'd be happy to reach out. Thank you so much for working with our students.